I'm a bad boy.
This is Larian's first game. I mean, technically it's not, but we don't talk about LED wars, okay? Divine Divinity is what gave Larian their sea legs. It put them on the map and showed people they were capable of making amazing CRPGs. And honestly, that's what Divine Divinity is. It's an amazing CRPG that, even though it's a bit dated, is still so easy and fun to play. The game also does not take itself seriously in a way that is just so uniquely Larian.
They're stupid. Croxy wants to go to council now. It works.
When the game released, it was fighting for attention among other iconic games like Neverwinter Nights and Morrowind. So to help it stand out, Larian added a feature that allowed the player to interact with seemingly everything they placed in the world. This feature became so loved and iconic that we obviously still see it today in games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Original Sin 2. However, I know a lot of you will be turned off by this game's old systems and outdated graphics, meaning you'll probably never play it. But that's why I make these videos. I played these games, so you don't have to. But first, I am a stubborn man, and I can really get stuck in my ways. So using anything but my default ass turd of a browser felt like a hurdle I could never get over. But then I switched to Opera GX, and goddamn me to an eternity rotting in hell if I ever go back. Opera GX comes with an insane amount of cool ass fucking features that not only lets me customize my browser to my liking, but also has practical applications in my life as a gamer. Fuck. For instance, the video pop-out feature lets me comfortably hide my browser while keeping my video playing wherever I want. It also offers an ad blocker or VPN, if you're into that sort of thing. Opera GX also lets you customize your browser experience with the use of GX mods. Once you find a theme that you like, you can change your wallpaper, background music, keyboard sounds, tab sounds, splash screen, and even the little icon on your taskbar. Holy shit, is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? The best part is how absolutely seamless it was to switch from my old browser to Opera GX. In just a few clicks, every single bookmark I had saved, including my 100 plus recipes, immediately moved over. So why not ditch your old piece of dog shit browser and try Opera GX today for free by clicking the link in the description. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video, and thanks for letting me swear in the ad read. I think I did a pretty good job of making it classy. Just a quick disclaimer, as this was kind of a problem with my Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 videos. I was born in 1997, so games from before 2010 are a bit of a mystery to me. So when I use words like dated, it is not my intention to call you or make you feel old. You're perfect just the way you are, and I love you. Mwah. Now, if you've played any of the other Divinity titles, you may have heard of Lucian the Divine, the human who achieved the power of a god during the Age of Chaos. The entirety of Divine Divinity is canonically his story. As soon as you start a new game, you're asked to pick a gender and one of 3 classes. I am a ranger through and through, so you already know I'm picking that bad boy of a thief.
I'm a bad boy, but you have to be to survive on the streets.
The cinematic from earlier showed the Black Ring attempting to kill an angel, and after she splits her soul into pieces and escapes, my character intercepts a fragment and becomes a marked one. And this is where my adventure begins, waking up in a basement. I find out that I'm in a village full of healers who saved my life, and I'm immediately asked to help cure the village leader, Ardanius, of his demonic possession.
Taste my power! No, Mardanius, no! I am Lanilor!
The entire first section has me running through dungeons and killing low-level skeletons, as most RPGs do. But before long, I catch my first level up, and I'm really surprised to see that I can use my skill points on any skills, not just those meant for the thief. I won't go too into the build crafting and mechanics, as there is a lot of story to cover, but for this reason alone, I'm already having fun. Deep, and I mean deep, into the dungeon underneath the village, I encountered a necromancer. This part actually really made me laugh, but now that the necromancer has been reborn, he realizes that being undead is just constant unbearable pain and begs for death. which I gladly grant him. The village leader is now saved and the world of Rivellon opens up to the player. Whilst traveling south, I was ambushed by a Black Ring Dragon Rider. Before they have a chance to put me down, a powerful wizard named Zandalor arrives just in time to one-shot the Black Ring henchman and save my life. He quickly informs us that he's been gathering the other marked ones, and if I want to survive, I need to meet him at a local inn. Of course, things are never just that easy, as when I arrive, Zandalor has already left to speak with the local duke at Stormfist Castle. Gaining entry is no easy task, as only people of interest and renown can enter by invitation. If I want to find Zandalor, I'll first need to accomplish an extraordinary feat. During my journey so far, I've constantly been told about how the poor district is being ravished by a deadly plague called the Grey Death. This sounds like just the thing I need to get my invitation. After arriving in the poor district, I catch wind of a certain doctor who's been treating the plagued victims in an attempt to find a cure. Without wasting any time, I rush to his home near the market district to learn how I can aid in his efforts. Dr. Elrath immediately kicks me out of his house, denying my help. For some reason, this just does not sit right with me, so I do what thieves do best and I break into his home. After like an hour of fiddling with this lantern contraption, I gain access to his basement, and to no one's surprise, I find the world's most incriminating note, which exposes Dr. Elrath as the one responsible for spreading the plague. After bringing this information to the local authorities, I finally received my invitation to Stormfist Castle. Upon entering, I am brought before the young Duke Janus to not only find Zandalor absent, but also that I've been forced into his service as a bodyguard, never to return to my former life.
Oh, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation, my friend. From this moment on, your previous life is at an end. Forget it and settle to your new role. And just in case you become forgetful, the guards have been told that you're not allowed to leave the castle, except with me, for the next 40 years.
While playing errand boy, I quickly realized that this 12-year-old Duke is, quite frankly, an asshole. Most people his age are worried about things like playing games and 6'7", but not the young Duke Janus. Little man has a girlfriend and is really just rude as shit to everyone in his vicinity. After I failed to defend him during an orc invasion, by the way he literally 1v1s all of them, I'm ejected from my service and the entire kingdom just hates me now. I still need to find Zandalor, and my character has a sneaky suspicion he's somewhere in the basement of the castle. After further investigation, I learn of an old sewer system located in the poor district that should take me right where I need to go. I killed some lizards, found some treasure, and eventually, Zandalor. He had found yet another marked one, but failed to save him from the Black Ring. I also discovered that deep in the castle treasury, the young Duke had somehow stumbled upon a legendary blade said to hold the soul of a demon. This very demon has now possessed the young Duke and is using him as a vessel to bring chaos back to Rivellon, which obviously explains his bizarre behavior from earlier. Zandalor and I escaped the sewers together just in time to find the only other marked one had also been slayed. It is now solely up to me to stop Duke Janus and the vile demon that lurks within his soul. So Zandalor had teleported the both of us somewhere, and he started saying something, but I had a real hard time listening with this, person in the background. He explained that this area is the old meeting place for the Council of the Seven. Before I can reach divinity, I have to gather the representative of each race. Then we can perform the ritual needed to give me the power necessary to defeat Duke Janus. Unfortunately, I had to put down the busty succubus before progressing any further. This entire next section has me running around Rivellon finding each of the other 6 representatives, with Zandalor being the representative for the mages, which I guess is a race. My first stop is back at the village of healers. It's under attack by massive orcs and some sort of warlock type mage. This is where I realized that my poison skill might be a little overtuned. For some reason, it does multiple instances of damage in very quick succession, and it only gets stronger depending on which rarity of poison you use. With that, the boss is easily killed and I secure the human representative, my old friend Mardanius. Each representative uses a special teleportation spell to get back to the council, and for some reason they had the voice actors record them saying the actual words for the spell, and it's always usually pretty funny.
Time to go to the council.
Next up is the orc representative. He's being held captive in an orc village, filled to the brim with tough enemies. Funny enough, the thief has yet another broken skill that spawns these metal scorpions that run around and just annihilate everything. They require you to have an actual item called a scorpion trap, but the item can be found often and everywhere. Not only do they do a ton of damage, but they have more health than most of the bosses in the game. Between that and the poison, the orcs are easily put down, and the council gains its next member, Croxy.
Ruthless! Ruthless! They're stupid! Croxy wants to go to council now! It works.
The imp representative, to no one's surprise, was not easy to find. He's been trapped in this guy's magic staff, and if I want to save him, I'm gonna have to go in. When I wake up, I'm in some bizarre garden where bees and wasps are just wantonly killing each other. I was really surprised to see that the game lets you pick a side, with the wasps being the obvious option for players who are doing a sort of evil playthrough. There isn't a ton of moral quandaries in this game, but every time one was presented, I was pleasantly surprised. I think I killed like 300 bees before I finally reached the imp representative.
Zig, zags, flags. X, go to council. Very easy.
For the lizard people, I just had to unpolymorph this dude named Gomo, and that was pretty much it.
I indeed wish to go to the council. Farewell till we meet again.
The elf quest had me exploring an area called the Dark Forest. An evil mage had been disguising orcs as dwarves and desecrating sacred elven grounds. The boss fight was also a cakewalk, and the elven representative joins the Council of the Seven.
What was that word again? Zagabop? Certainly not an elven word. There's no poetry in its construction.
The quest for the dwarves was easily the most fun out of all of them. It has you uncovering a conspiracy where the Dwarven King's brother set up an elf to take the fall for the theft of a sacred dwarven relic. The Dwarven Halls were without a doubt the coolest region in the entire game, with rivers of gold and distant sounds of iron hitting rock. To be frank, it was a shame this area wasn't used for more than just this one mission. Around this time, I picked up something called a frog statuette that literally turns you into a frog, but also lets you travel at absurd speeds. Very good for getting around, useless for just about everything else. The Dwarven conspiracy is quickly thwarted, the elven captive released, and we now have the last of the Council of Seven.
I bet a bloody imp invented this stupid code word. Haven't they heard of vowels? Phew, it's done.
With all members assembled, the ritual can now begin. Yeah, I guess you have to die in order to become a god. How bizarre. After the council commits murder in the 3rd degree, Duke Janus makes an appearance. Only this time, he shows his true form. The malevolent spirit residing in the young Duke's body was none other than the Demon of Lies. He slaughtered the entirety of the council, and the screen fades to black, where I get this dope-ass scene of my ascension. When I wake up, I get like 5 or so level ups and an entirely new skill tree dedicated to divine powers. There's some crazy shit in here, like slow time and ghost transformation. Very cool and absolutely satisfies the fantasy of being given divine powers. I eventually bump into Zandalor, who explains he was able to escape only with the help of his cat sidekick Arhu. If you've played some of the other Divinity titles, you just might recognize that name. All that's left is to confront the Demon of Lies and stop him before he can summon an ancient evil known as the Lord of Chaos. Along the way, I ran into a giant-ass dragon called Patriarch the Black, and just to see if I could, I decided to fight him. I had stored quite a few healing potions, so ultimately I was the victor. Funny enough, he wasn't the only dragon we encounter. The entire swamp outside the demon's lair is filled to the brim with demons and dragon riders and ghosts. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at this. This final dungeon had to be my least favorite. Every square inch was so jam-packed with enemies, it would have taken an absurd amount of time to clear even half of them. Thankfully, I can turn into a ghost and bypass damn near all of them. Before reaching the Demon of Lies, I had to take down 5 different mini-bosses. Every single one of them could not only be poisoned, but were also no match for my gaggle of metal scorpions. All that's left is my encounter with the final demon. I wish I had a more interesting fight to share with you today, but as soon as I walked in, I dumped 5 or so scorpions on his ass, and that was it. The post-game cinematic shows the Lord of Demons dying, but also reveals the ritual was a success, only it brought a baby into the world instead of a demon. Now, while this plays and we wrap up the video, I would like to quickly read an excerpt from an IGN review of Divine Divinity. Divine Divinity is a very easy game to get into and enjoy. Above all, it's plain fun to play, to develop your character, and find ever better weapons and armor to face the foe around the corner. With BioWare's assets tied up in lightsabers and Black Isle Studios working on a game that has no strategic pause mode, perhaps Larian will step forward to carry the CRPG banner in the near future. We could do a lot worse. Obviously, Barry Brenasol had no idea how right he was, as Larian is currently setting the standard for what it means to create a CRPG in today's world. I simply cannot wait for the new Divinity title to release, as I know for a fact it's going to be just as amazing as every game that came before it. If you enjoyed the video, why not consider subscribing? We recently hit 100k subs on the channel, very big milestone, and I sort of have like a Q&A video in the works, so keep an eye out for that. Also, huge shout out to the members. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel. Members get their name in each video and a members badge. So if you're interested in joining, check the description for more details. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.